Hey, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Katie. We are a dad and daughter duo who are going to start a cooking channel together, and we would love to have you guys join along. So what are we cooking today, Dad?
We're going to have an egg in a hole. We're going to start simple, but it's something we love. I loved it. You love it.
Yep.
The grandkids love it. It's so simple and so delicious. And then we'll have some sides to go along with it.
That sounds perfect.
We're going to start with getting some produce from my urban farm. I love to grow things, and I always like to look at what's in season and using it in my cooking. Today we're going to be using some onions, but they've already been cured and I've got them inside. We're not going to have to get those yet, but we'll use what I grew this year. We have some tomatoes, and we'll pick the tomatoes. We'll get some basil, we'll need that. And of course, with the egg in a hole, we'll need some eggs, so we'll go visit the chickens. So here are my tomatoes, and I'm just going to pick a few tomatoes off the vine, really pretty. I won't pick them all, I'll just pick a couple that we can use today. I love my flowers too, so Katie, I think we're going to pick some of these black-eyed Susans to make for our centerpiece today.
That sounds perfect.
They ought to be really pretty. Look at that sunflower up there, Katie. I just was determined to get any volunteer sunflower to grow, and I bet it's 12 to 14 feet tall. And I've never seen one like it. It's beautiful. We're at the coop, and I'm going to go ahead and get in the coop and try to get some eggs for my chickens. So I'll just lift this off and we'll see what they have. An egg just came out. This is the egg. I'll tell you what, this is daggum fresh eggs, if you say it. So I'm gonna put this real fresh one that just came out while I was petting the chickens, and I'll pull the other ones out here. So you can see all the chickens' eggs. But they lay in the same area. They kind of stand in line waiting to drop the eggs. And I don't know if I made it nervous or if we just had perfect timing, but we were able to get a very fresh egg. Again, this kind of light cream one is the one that just came out. So we'll use these in the egg in the hole. Okay, we're going to pick some herbs. I've got a lot of herbs that Katie and I like to cook with. This is chives, and I'll pick a couple of these. And that's about all we need right there, just a little bit to enhance it. And I've got a couple of different kinds of basil here. And so I'll just pull a couple basil leaves here. This is one type. This is the traditional, and I've got another basil plant that I started a few weeks back, and so I'm going to pick a couple of these leaves. So it'll be basil and basil to go in our recipe today.
We just put the eggs from the egg carton into this little bowl. That way it's easier to work with. This again on top is the very fresh egg that was just laid today, as well as the tomatoes and the basil and chives that you saw us pick.
This is an onion that I grew, but some things we have to buy at the store. So we have the mushrooms here, and you can wash mushrooms, but my choice is to just take it and brush it off with this brush. This is my mushroom brush. All mushrooms have a little bit of dirt on them, so you just do that. I've already done it, so they're pretty clean right now.
As soon as I walked inside, I saw that Dad had this amazing table setting done for us. Look at these adorable dishes that we have. Oh my goodness. And of course the flowers that he brought in. But look at that. So Dad, what is the story?
Your mom and I went to a world's largest attic sale years and years and years ago. And so we found this place setting. It didn't cost hardly anything. Their original works, if you look at the back of all of them, it's got the person's name on it. I don't know if these are worth anything, but I've kept them through the years. I thought it would be a perfect dish for us to use today. And we've got the cups here. We're not going to drink coffee this time of day. This is a little bit later breakfast. So I've got some green tea, lemon green tea. So we'll have that with our food today. Cut up all the vegetables, and now it's time to mix it together. This is going to be good, Katie. I don't think you've ever had any of it. One thing I do, I like the large curd. Most of the places you find is small, but I got the large because I like it. It's a little bit larger than the other. So we're going to put some in here, some cottage cheese. And then we're going to put all these vegetables in, all the tomatoes, because it's mainly the vegetables we're wanting. And the cottage cheese kind of ties it together. So these are the mushrooms. I really didn't measure it out. I put my little basil in here and sprinkle it in. So I do that. So we've got that there. Now the chives will go on top. Now I make garlic, salt, pepper. I make my own because it's so easy. You just put salt, you put garlic, and you put parsley, but you put some pepper in it too. So I'm going to put this in. This will make it taste better. And now I'm going to mix it up and see if I need to put some more cottage cheese in here. I think I probably will. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's going to work out good. Because you just want enough cottage cheese to kind of tie it together. This will be a kind of a refreshing thing to go on the side with egg in a hole. Because the egg in a hole, but then you want some good garden vegetables to go with it. Especially this time of day, which is it's a brunch now.
It looks delicious.
Does it not look great?
Yes.
And when I put it on the plate, I'll sprinkle a little bit of chives on it. So it will be good. It's time to put this on the table. So this is how I'm going to do it. This is my chicken plate. And I'm just going to place this right in the center. And that way we can serve ourselves and get as much as we want. Plus it'll be pretty on the table. So let me just do
beautiful, Dad.
this here. Yeah, it's going to be very good. Now, to go along with it, I've got some Townhouse pita, tomato, and caramelized onion pita bread. I'm going to put these around here like this. So we'll have some things to dip it in if you want to use it to dip.
While Dad's plating that, I'm going to try one. It almost has a barbecue flavor. Wouldn't you say? It's very much, it's like a sort of between a chip and an actual pita. I know it's pita. You definitely taste it's thicker than a regular chip.
Okay.
Oh, good.
At least she didn't say interesting. When she doesn't like it, she says interesting. Last finishing touches is to put on the very top some chives. And I think it's important when you cook to have your food look good, and instead of just slapping it on a plate. Is that not pretty?
Okay, everybody, now we're going to go ahead and start making our eggs in a hole. I'm just going to take some plain old butter and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the pan. Did you hear that sizzle? As the butter is heating up, I want to go ahead and show you how we make the hole in our eggs in a hole. So I'm going to take the bread, and we actually have this adorable cup that you can store things in. It's got a lid like a Tupperware. All you have to do is put it right in the center, and it's able to go through the bread without making too much of a squish with it. So I'm just going to use my fingers. Now, if I wasn't doing this on video, I'd probably just do it right on a plate. But doing it with my fingers is fine too. I'm able to get a perfect circle. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And then, if I can squeeze it out, pop it out, I've got the perfect round piece. I'm just going to lay the bread right down on the butter. Okay, we did hear the sizzle in the pan, so I feel confident it's ready to go for the egg. So I'm going to go ahead and take that fresh egg. Oh my goodness, it's still a little warm. The chicken hatched today, or delivered, or whatever the terminology is, laid. The chicken laid. And I'm going to go ahead and crack it. Let's see, I've got it. Oh, whoops, went a little crazy there. We're just going to let the bottom of the egg in a hole start getting white. I'm going to throw this away and we'll go to the next step. The next step is tossing in your little round piece. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to go ahead and move the egg over a little bit and just toss this in. Get a little butter on it. This is the time to add your salt and pepper. Look at these adorable salt and pepper shakers that Dad had. They're like eggs. They're so cute. I'm going to go ahead and flip it. But I'm going to really focus on the flipping because I don't want it to go crazy and, you know, go everywhere. So we'll see. Oh, did you hear that? You just flip it over. Now, I could have been a little neater about that, but look at that, it's beautiful. And I'm gonna go ahead and just flip over the centerpiece. Now I'm ready to plate it on my sheet plate. I'm gonna go ahead and take my egg in a hole, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the circle piece as well. I have from Trader Joe's a seasoning blend. It is amazing, not just on bagels. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it and just sprinkle it over top of my egg. And even though it's not cooked in with the egg, oh my goodness, it adds some great elements of display as well as excellent flavor. As Dad cooks his egg, he's gonna show you a little variation by adding some sharp cheddar cheese.
Melt the butter, put the egg here. You can hear it sizzle and cooking. And I'm going to get some sharp cheese. I'm going to put it on top. And as it cooks, it's going to melt this a little bit. But when I flip it over, it's going to have a great texture on it. So I'm going to let it cook like that. And it's going to melt on there. And I will put a little bit of salt and pepper on mine. So there's a little bit of pepper. In fact, I like a lot of pepper. I like a lot of salt too, but it's not too good for you. So a lot of that. I put a little bit of salt on there. Katie, I think I'm going to use some of that bagel stuff. I've not used it before, and I've got the little disc here. And at the very end, I go around the bottom, and I sop up all the extra butter if there's anything left over on there to make it good. So I let it cook for a little bit. Now, Katie, I want to tell you something. I like mine not to be that runny, and so I'm going to...
You are not my father.
I'm not your father. I like it. You know, I like over well, and you like it over easy.
I did not know that. In almost 31 years of my life.
So we'll have to go to Circle G so you can hear me order it. So anyway, I'm going to flip this over. I think it's probably about time. I'm not sure. And I go underneath it. When I flip it over, I even actually punch a hole in it like that so that I can flip it over and it will cook that. I'm really not your dad.
He is not my father. I never knew this.
It looks a little bit messy, but I tell you, it's going to be excellent. It's really going to be good. So I'll be plating mine in just a second. Place it here in the center.
That smells amazing.
I'm going to go around the side like I told you, and I sop up all the butter so I don't waste anything. Katie, you can tell them I don't waste anything if I can help it, right? So I'll turn this off, and I'm going to move it right here.
Since my dad decided to tell me something completely new that I had no idea about in my entire life, that he did not like runny yolk like I do, oh my goodness, I'm gonna tell him something. I don't like jam. So I do not want to put jam on my circle. So even though he got jam out for our circles, and I was gonna go along with it, no.
I'll take jam. You can have jelly.
See, I don't like any of it.
Okay, all right.
But you learned something new.
I did not know that.
Look at these amazing eggs in a hole. You can eat these on the cheap with very inexpensive bread. Get an inexpensive pack of eggs, or, you know, if you have your own chickens, definitely. Dad's already gotten some ice for us. And he's going to pour the, what did you say, lemon green tea?
This is lemon green tea.
That sounds delicious. Now, I do like tea. So, I'm happy that Dad did this for us. But even just getting some cottage cheese and some vegetables at the store, this is actually a pretty cost-effective meal for you and your family.
Hey, you're going to love this. If you don't love it, that's okay. Remember, when I say when you don't love something I cook, you give it back to me. You leave it here because I'll eat it. I like what I cook. So I'm going to get me a plate of this. I'm going to get me some chips. And my place is set. So now it's your time. So you got to try some.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and take my plate and scoop some of this as well. Maybe not as hearty of a serving as my dad, but I do love cottage cheese. I love the saltiness of the cottage cheese, so this looks pretty good to me. So I'll take a couple pita chips to start with, and I can always get more. So let's go ahead and see how we like it. Have you tried it already?
I have not tried it. I've waited, and let's try it together. In fact, let's do it together.
Yes.
So I'm gonna take. I'm gonna load mine up.
Me too.
I got some tomatoes and I got some mushrooms. It's all in here.
Me
Onions.
Too. Uh-huh. That's actually phenomenal. I love it, but do you like it?
I love it. I love it. I knew I'd love it.
I love it because Dad had a good point not to overdo the cottage cheese, just do enough to help bind it together. It is so fresh and light. I didn't think that I would like vegetables in cottage cheese, but wow, it's amazing. And you taste the fresh herbs. I taste the basil. I tasted the tomatoes. Every vegetable was so fresh, but the cheese just made it more like a savory type dish. So yeah, we're gonna enjoy these meals. Oh, but before we eat the rest of our food and just have a good time talking, let me go ahead and show you what mine looks like with a little bit of over medium going on. So hopefully you can see that. It's going to be delicious. And then
And you see mine's pretty much cooked. Maybe a little bit of liquid in it, but not much. Some of that could have come with the cheese. The cheese may have melted and did that, but it's going to be delicious. See the cheese? I love cheese hanging on the fork. It's good.
I have not taken any bites. I just cut it in half for what y'all saw. So I'm going to go ahead and take it and get a little bit of the yolk. Now I'm going to try it. Perfect. I could have an egg in a hole for every meal and be happy. It's not a breakfast food only.
You can have the egg and whole anytime. In fact, when Isaac comes over here, if it's lunch or if it's breakfast, even at night, he'll say, "Pa, I'd like to have an egg and a whole. Will you make me one?" Of course, I say, "Yes, I will." And I run over and make it for him. It makes me happy because it's passing something down. My mom made it for me. I made it for Katie and Betsy, and I made it for the grandkids.
It was an awesome meal. Absolutely loved it.
I had a good time. I really had a good time cooking with you. Of course, I always have a good time cooking with you, Katie.
I do with you too.
Any of the recipes that we'll be cooking in the coming weeks are found on our Girly Family Cookbook Wiki. About 10 years ago, I decided to create one so that we could pass down the recipes that we loved.
To find the link to the Girly Family Wiki, look in the description below. If you liked this video today, please subscribe. We would love to have you. We're going to be putting up cooking videos every week from our meals together, and we would just love to be able to share them with you and your family.